Okay, I have the vents plugged. I'm going to do the famous drop test here, which is not supposed to be dropping it onto the concrete floor, but turn it over. I'm going to kind of do it reverse. I'm going to, well, maybe not. I'll lift it up. You see that slide out slowly? It should take several seconds, and that looks pretty good. It's actually inverse drop test kind of works too. So if I take these out, you see it's quite different. Okay, I'm trying to center the needle, and I took these pieces off that just affect how far the needle can go up. You can do it with these on, you just have to screw this in all the way, and it's a little annoying with the spring, so since I can easily leave it off, I just slid the jet in, and it's not centered. Can't film it very well, but if I tip it up, this does not come down and clank. So I just have to loosen this nut and put the piston down and gently snug it up, and that probably will center it. And that worked. I actually have a hard time believing how easy it is to do that. Something must be wrong. Anyway, now I can just pull this out. And put the rest of it together. There's the needle. Now what I found on the other one is it's easier to put this, choke linkage on before you put this whole piece on. So I'm going to take that back off, and I have to put this bar on it, and it's got a end there that takes one of these push-on washers, and it's kind of hard to get the new ones on unless you can get behind it with a plier. So taking it apart, put that together. Here's that guy together. I just used a couple pliers and get one on each side, and I could push it on evenly. Might be able to do it with a socket, but this worked. Here's this guy put together. There's a little trick to putting it together, which I could video it while I did it, but you can lay the spring in where it belongs and then push in the bolt. And you have to push the spring down and hold these things in alignment, but then it goes in fairly easily. Okay, for putting this guy in, I found it easier to put the rubber grommet in first because it's such a tight fit. It's hard to push it in with trying to hold the spring back and all that at the same time. So I put some silicone lubricant on that and then put this together. And it's also a good idea to put this in first so you can see how far in the nylon tube goes. Can't do it with one hand, but there is a metal fitting there, and that guy totally disappears. So if you're putting it together and see that protruding, you know you don't have the nylon tube in and seated correctly, which is a common problem. Just cleaning up my fuel line, and I noticed it's got a cavity. There's a hole right in there. I don't know how it ran before. Never noticed that, but it's looks like it must have been rubbing on something and wore all the way through. So I guess we'll be bending a new one since it's $30 to buy one from parts store. Maybe that's a reasonable facsimile. Took me 5 minutes, saved me $30.